What's being done here plays a very vital role when it comes to trying to mitigate against the consequences of climate change.
It's one of the most important buildings on Earth, and yet so few people don't know about it. The seed vault could preserve most major food crop seeds for hundreds of years.
Deep in the Arctic, carved 120 meters into a sandstone mountain, sits the Svalbard Global Seed Vault, also known as the Doomsday Vault. Since opening in 2008, it has stored millions of crop seeds from around the globe, serving as our ultimate backup plan against food shortages. But what drove Norway to build it? And why is this remote, permafrost-locked island ideal for safeguarding the seeds that could one day feed us all? First, consider the scale of the threat. Agriculture hangs by a thread. Climate change drives extreme weather. Wars disrupt local food systems, and diseases can wipe out entire gene banks in an instant. If a major seed repository fails, precious genetic diversity could vanish forever. Norway saw an opportunity to offer a global backup. By providing a secure joint facility, every nation's investments in crop preservation get an extra layer of protection. No single nation has to face this challenge alone. Next, geography matters. Svalbard sits about 800 kilometers from the North Pole, firmly within the Arctic Circle. Temperatures here hover well below freezing much of the year, and the ground beneath the vault, the permafrost, has been permanently frozen for millennia. Even if the vault's refrigeration systems failed, the natural cold would slow seed decay, keeping internal temperatures around -3 degrees Celsius. That buffer could last months, giving technicians time to repair equipment before warming risks seed viability. Building in the Arctic wasn't easy, but Norway tapped both ingenuity and simplicity to keep costs down. For just $8.8 million, engineers drilled a 120-metre tunnel into solid sandstone, creating 3 chambers deep enough to stay frozen year-round. Refrigeration units maintain the international standard for long-term seed storage, -18 degrees Celsius, and heavy blast doors seal out moisture and unwanted visitors. Inside, seeds rest in aluminum foil packets, each carefully labelled and packed by depositing institutions. To ensure impartiality, Norway structured the vault as a black box facility. Only the organisations that deposit seeds can retrieve them. There are no on-site staff, no scientists wandering the corridors. Visits happen only when blame-free maintenance or withdrawals are needed. This design reduces political entanglements. No country can pry into another's genetic trove, and limits opportunities for corruption or misuse. The vault's true power comes from collaboration. It's owned by Norway's Ministry of Agriculture and Food, managed by the Crop Trust, and operated jointly with the Nordic Genetic Resource Centre, NordGen. Gene banks from nearly every continent contribute seed accessions, collections from specific crop varieties or cultivars. As of mid-2024, over 1.2 million accessions representing thousands of species lay sleeping in the Arctic cold, from staple grains like wheat and rice to wild relatives that may harbour traits vital for future breeding, such as drought or pest resistance. In 2015, the vault proved its worth when Syria's national seed bank suffered damage during the civil war. The international community tapped Svalbard's reserves to replenish lost collections, ensuring Syrian farmers retained access to crucial wheat and barley strains. A second withdrawal took place in 2017, when a larger batch of seeds was withdrawn and shipped to Lebanon and Morocco. They were grown, multiplied, and then redeposited, demonstrating how Svalbard ensures both immediate relief and long-term restoration of vital crop collections. In August 2019, International Centre for Agricultural Research in the Dry Areas, ICARDA, made a further withdrawal to continue its regeneration programme, underlining the vault's reliability even years after the initial emergency. Depositors to the Svalbard Global Seed Vault include not only international and national genobanks, but also indigenous communities safeguarding their ancestral crops. In 2015, representatives of Peru's Parque de la Papa travelled 11,000 kilometres to deposit 750 distinct Andean potato samples, each reflecting centuries of Quechua farming traditions. 5 years later, the Cherokee Nation became the first US tribe to participate, securing 9 heirloom food crop varieties, such as the sacred white eagle corn, that predate European colonization. By entrusting these genetic treasures to Svalbard, indigenous peoples assert stewardship over their biocultural heritage, ensuring that traditional knowledge and crops survive political or environmental upheavals. Beyond its scientific mission, the Seed Vault has captured the public imagination as a symbol of global unity and resilience. It appears in novels, films, and documentaries alongside projects like the International Space Station, serving as a beacon of international collaboration and a touchstone for doomsday discourse on sustainability. Science communicators, most notably Carrie Fowler, have propelled the vault from obscurity into worldwide awareness. Its inspiration extends into the arts. Norway backed Ibsen International's multidisciplinary project, The Seed, and composer Marcus Porse's children's opera, Children of Ginkgo, uses the vault story to spark ecological consciousness and celebrate youthful courage in nurturing nature. Looking ahead, the vault's role may grow even more critical. Accelerating climate change could force breeders to tap into genetic traits that no longer exist in cultivated fields. Novel diseases or invasive pests may sweep through monocultures optimized for yield rather than resilience. The Svalbard Global Seed Vault offers a pause against that erosion, a pause that says, let's take our time to rebuild, to research, to adapt. Still, challenges remain. As the permafrost layer thaws ever so slightly under Arctic warming, the vault's designers have had to upgrade drainage systems to channel melting water away. Depositing institutions must keep their own records and duplicates. The vault acts strictly as a backup. And while 2.5 billion seeds can fit behind those blast doors, ongoing efforts are needed to fill gaps, particularly for the crops that feed billions yet receive little scientific attention. Norway's gamble, however, seems worthwhile. For a fraction of what goes into global military budgets, the Seed Vault offers a lasting bulwark against food insecurity. It reminds us that prevention can be far more cost-effective than cure. Every unopened aluminum packet represents not just genetic material, but hope. Hope that humanity's ingenuity can overcome calamity. Hope that food will grow even when the world seems to collapse. In the end, Norway didn't build the vault for itself. It built it for all of us. It's a cold cathedral to cooperation, loneliness, and foresight. While the rest of the planet continues its frantic scramble, Svalbard sits patiently in the Arctic night, holding the seeds of tomorrow in trust. And should the worst ever come to pass, those seeds will stand ready, waiting to sprout the next chapter of human history.